From early mornings on the job site to late night escapes down a gravel back road, life doesn't slow down, and your truck shouldn't either. That's where the 2026 Chevy Colorado steps in. It's built for the hands-on, always-moving type who needs muscle Monday through Friday and capability when the trail calls on Saturday. Chevy's latest midsize pickup isn't trying to be everything for everyone, but it does aim to be everything you actually need in a daily driver that can still flex off-road when duty calls. General Motors didn't flip the whole script this year, but what they've added and what they've left alone tells you a lot about who this truck is for. If you're already rolling in a Colorado from a few years back, this might be the update you've been waiting for. And if you're just stepping into the midsize game, well, this truck's got enough punch and polish to make you think twice about going full size. Let's take a closer look at what the 2026 Colorado brings to the table. Join us as we explore the world of wheels. Subscribe now and buckle up for the adventure. Extended cab comeback. After a short break from the lineup, Chevrolet is bringing the Colorado's longer cab long bed combo back for 2026. For the last couple of years, it's been crew cab or bust, and that setup makes sense if you're hauling people more than gear. But for a lot of truck owners who don't need a second row full-time, what really matters is bed length and functional space. That's where the extended cab paired with the 6.5-foot bed comes in clutch. This setup gives you more real estate out back without forcing you into a full-size rig. That extra foot and a half of bed over the crew cab's short box makes a difference. You can toss in a dirt bike without leaving the tailgate down, load up lumber or tools without doing Tetris, or throw in camping gear, coolers, and still have room to spare. The extended cab does come with a trade-off: less rear passenger room. But that's not really a loss if you're the type who treats the rear area like a lockable storage space more than a comfy lounge. Chevy clearly heard the noise from diehards who wanted their longer bed back without having to move up to a half-tonner. With the 2026 Colorado, they're answering with a layout that gets back to what midsize trucks are supposed to be: practical, efficient, and built around actual utility. Another comeback, a Duramax diesel. If you've been mourning the loss of the oil burner in the Colorado, here's some news that might get your gears turning again. With the EPA easing up on some of its upcoming emissions rules, there's a real possibility Chevy could bring the small but mighty diesel back into the midsize mix for 2026. The old 2.8 Duramax had its loyal following, for good reason. Torque-rich, surprisingly efficient, and built to last, it wasn't the loudest engine in the room, but it pulled its weight. 7,700 pounds of towing capacity is matched by the new Turbomax, but the diesel engine was way more efficient. Tighter emissions regs pushed it off the roster a few years ago, and Chevy went all in on gas options. Now the landscape's shifting, with Washington backing off on some of the stricter standards that were set to phase out smaller diesels. Engineers have breathing room again. So imagine this: a re-engineered 2.8 Duramax for 2026 Colorado. Same displacement, but with better low-end grunt, extra power, and smoother throttle response. That's not just wishful thinking. Chevy's done it with the bigger diesel on Silverado 1500, so why not give midsize buyers a taste of that same magic? Small tweaks, big impact. The 2026 Chevrolet Colorado doesn't show up with a brand new face, but it's not just standing still either. The company gave the body a few subtle touch-ups. Nothing dramatic, just enough to sharpen the lines and give it a little more edge. Inside the cockpit, it's more of the same: minor refinements, smarter material choices in a few key places, and a slightly cleaner layout. The real head-turner is still the ZR2 Bison. Built in partnership with American Expedition Vehicles, this thing continues to be the gold standard for off-roading in the midsize game. What you really want to hear is that the base price holds steady at around $32,000. Well, if you spec a ZR2 Bison with every option under the sun, you're flirting with the $65,000 tag. But Chevy's left plenty of room between those extremes, whether you're looking for a budget-friendly workhorse or a capable off-roader. There's a Colorado configuration that makes sense. The 2026 model keeps things steady and smart, while bigger changes are on the horizon. The 2027 Colorado is already in the pipeline for a more significant refresh. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.